Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, your daily dose of what's happening around the world. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. A new dawn on the horizon, the headline that changed everything. The news broke like a thunderclap across the archipelago. Manila unveils new warship, vows 8 more. The headline dominated news sites and television screens. For a nation long accustomed to maritime vulnerability, this was different. In coffee shops and fishing villages alike, the conversation was the same. Something was changing. The air was thick with hope, pride, and skepticism. This wasn't just about a ship, it was about a new chapter for the Philippines. Years of tension in the West Philippine Sea had led to this moment. The country was no longer content to be a passive observer. The unveiling of a modern warship and the promise of more captured the public's imagination. High-ranking officials stood before the gleaming BRP Miguel Malvar, its hull a promise made tangible. It represented a future where the Philippine flag would fly on ships built for today. The message was clear: the Philippines was investing in its own defense. This was only the beginning. A plan for a fleet of modern frigates. For international observers, the news signaled a shift in Southeast Asia's balance of power. A more capable Philippine Navy could alter strategic calculations across the region. What did this mean for U.S. strategy? How would China react? The headline was not just a local story, it was a geopolitical event. The Philippines, often defined by its struggles, was making a bold move on the world stage. The story of these new frigates had just begun. This was more than a ship, it was a statement of intent. The world was watching, and for the first time in a long time, so was the nation itself. Echoes of the past, a navy of hand-me-downs. For decades, the Philippine Navy was a living museum. Its most powerful warships were often hand-me-downs from other nations. The BRP Raja Humabon, a World War II-era ship, symbolized both resilience and limitation. The fleet was a patchwork of aging vessels, many acquired through U.S. assistance. These ships lacked modern sensors, weapons, and speed. Sailors became masters of maintenance, keeping old ships running through sheer determination. But outdated technology could only go so far. Patrolling vast coastlines with aging ships was like guarding a fortress with old muskets. The Navy was forced into a defensive posture. Coastal patrols, anti-smuggling, disaster relief. Projecting power was not an option. In the South China Sea, the Philippine Navy was often outmatched. Its ships could observe and report, but not deter. This created a sense of vulnerability and frustration. Filipinos respected their sailors, but consensus grew: this had to change. The country's growing economy and strategic importance demanded modernization. The old way was no longer sustainable. A nation with a maritime destiny could not rely on a fleet from the past. The call for modernization grew louder with each new incident at sea. A new era was not just desired, it was becoming a necessity. The game changer arrives: BRP Miguel Malvar. The commissioning of the BRP Miguel Malvar in 2025 was more than a ceremony, it was a statement. This was not a refurbished hand-me-down, but a brand new, purpose-built warship. Built by South Korea's Hyundai Heavy Industries, it marked a leap in technology for the Philippine Navy. Sleek, modern, and bristling with advanced systems, it was built for today's threats. Alongside its sister ship, the BRP Jose Rizal, it brought the Navy into the modern era. These ships feature surface-to-air and anti-ship missiles, modern radar, and sonar. For the first time, the Navy could credibly fight in a multi-domain conflict. The ship's name, honoring a revolutionary general, symbolized a new fight for sovereignty. Its arrival demonstrated a new level of government commitment. Building ships like the Miguel Malvar is a serious investment, financial and political. The ship became a source of national pride and a sign of progress. For sailors, it was transformative. They were now operating cutting-edge technology. More importantly, the Miguel Malvar served as proof of concept. It showed the Philippines could acquire and operate modern warships. This success paved the way for a more ambitious plan. The ship was not an end, but a beginning. It inspired the vision for 8 more, turning a single upgrade into a naval revolution. The future had finally arrived. The power of 8, a fleet, reimagined. The government's plan to acquire 8 more modern frigates is bold and ambitious. It's the largest military modernization effort in Philippine history. Moving from a handful of patrol craft to 10 modern frigates is a quantum leap. It shifts the Philippines from a defensive posture to credible deterrence. Why 8 more? With only 2 ships, you might have just 1 available at a time. A fleet of 10 allows for a persistent presence in key maritime areas. It provides depth, resilience, and operational flexibility. These frigates are multi-mission anti-air, anti-surface, and anti-submarine warfare. This versatility is crucial for a country facing diverse maritime threats. A fleet of 10 creates a layered defense, a protective shield around the archipelago. The psychological impact is huge. It flips the script of Philippine weakness at sea. It sends a message to the people, allies, and adversaries alike. Challenging Philippine sovereignty will no longer be low risk. This is about building not just a fleet, but national confidence and resolve. The plan is more than hardware, it's a new mindset. The Philippines is ready to defend its future. The world is taking notice. How do these new ships stack up against the neighbors? In Southeast Asia, naval power is a currency of influence. For years, the Philippines lagged behind as Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia modernized their fleets. The Philippine Navy, with its older ships, was seen as a coast guard with a navy's name. 10 modern frigates would change this perception dramatically. It won't make the Philippines the most powerful navy, but it will make it a more respectable one. Vietnam and Indonesia have formidable fleets, but the gap would narrow. In terms of modern surface combatants, the Philippines would be on more even footing with ASEAN peers. This newfound strength gives the Philippines a stronger voice in the region. The real elephant in the room is China, the world's largest navy. The goal isn't to match China ship for ship, but to raise the cost of aggression. A fleet of 10 missile-armed frigates makes hostile action much riskier. This is about credible minimum deterrence. The risk for foreign vessels intruding into Philippine waters increases exponentially. This changes the dynamic in the West Philippine Sea. Philippine diplomats will now speak with a more credible force behind them. The new frigates may not level the playing field, but they change the angle of the slope. The region's balance is shifting. The decision to acquire 8 more frigates is about more than numbers. The Philippines is an archipelago of over 7,600 islands, with a vast resource-rich maritime domain. Patrolling this expanse requires a fleet with reach and endurance. The new frigates are the centerpiece of a strategy to control the nation's waters. In the West Philippine Sea, they'll be the front line of defense, conducting patrols, monitoring activity, and protecting fishing rights. Armed with advanced missiles, they provide credible deterrence. Their presence is a powerful political statement, upholding rights under international law. In the south, the Sulu and Celebes seas face piracy and terrorism. The frigate's sensors and helicopters make them ideal for maritime security operations. They can work with regional partners to secure vital sea lanes. To the east, the Benham Rise is rich in resources and needs protection from illegal exploitation. Anti-submarine capabilities will be key for monitoring underwater activity. These ships are the backbone of a layered 21st century defense. Who will build these 8 new frigates? The answer carries major geopolitical weight. The choice of supplier will shape the Navy's future and signal strategic alignment. South Korea is a strong contender, with Hyundai Heavy Industries' proven track record. Choosing Korea again offers fleet commonality and strengthens a key partnership. European shipbuilders from Spain, France, and Italy offer advanced designs and new alliances. A European choice could diversify defense partnerships. Japan is also in the mix. A deal would mark a new level of security cooperation. The decision is a delicate balancing act: cost, capability, technology, and geopolitics. Will the Philippines stick with a proven partner or forge a new alliance? The outcome will be measured in both naval power and diplomatic currency. This is a high-stakes choice with long-term consequences. The world is watching Manila's next move. The vision of a 10-frigate fleet is inspiring, but the path is filled with challenges. The biggest hurdle is the budget. Modern warships are expensive to buy and maintain. Securing consistent funding in a country with many priorities will be tough. The dream could be sunk by budget realities. There's also the human element. Operating modern frigates requires highly skilled personnel. The Navy must invest in recruitment, training, and professional development. Building human capital is as important as building ships. Strategically, China's massive navy remains a daunting challenge. The Philippines must develop clever, asymmetric strategies and work closely with allies. The frigates are just one part of a larger puzzle. There's also the risk of sea denial. Protecting naval bases is crucial. Success depends on overcoming financial, logistical, and strategic obstacles. The journey will test the nation's resolve. In the end, this story is about more than just ships. The plan for 10 frigates is the Philippines' boldest expression of national resolve. For too long, the country was seen as the sick man of Asia. These ships symbolize a new era, one of self-reliance and strength. This is about national pride, rooted in a realistic view of the challenges ahead. The The sight of a modern warship inspires unity and purpose. The new fleet gives the Philippines a stronger voice in ASEAN and beyond. Diplomats will now speak from a position of strength. The ships are instruments of both hard and soft power. Can the Philippines sustain this vision? That remains the question. The challenges are real, but the journey has begun. The impact will be felt for decades, across the South China Sea and beyond. A proud maritime nation is finally building a navy worthy of its aspirations.